Alright, here's my Rabbit Air minus A2. I think it's part number SPA-780A or something like that. But this is the black model, and it's been on auto for the last, I think, 3 months, and I have not cleaned the filter. I usually do that once a month, and I usually have it on high or medium. But it's been on auto mode, and it has the ionizer on, and right now it's silent. But I've noticed a huge increase in dust in my house since putting it on auto, because it has an air quality sensor, an odor sensor right there, and it has a particle sensor in the back here, which automatically ramps up the fan whenever it detects dust and odor in the air, usually when my wife is cooking or when you walk by and carpet dust goes into the air. But let me go ahead and take off the cover and show you what it looks like when it's on auto mode for 3 months. That is a lot of dust, and as you see, I taped up all the outsides of the filter, because anyways, this is the filter, that whole thing, and then the sides where it slips in, there's air does get past the filter there, so I taped it up to prevent air bypassing that, to make sure all air that goes through the filter actually goes through the filter. And there's numerous filters in here. You got the washable pre-filter here, then another filter behind it, and then another filter behind it, you know, etc., etc. But I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this off and show you what it looks like clean, and then a month later I'm gonna leave it on high for 1 month, and I'm gonna come back and see if we can collect as much dust or more. You know, this is 3 months on auto mode, and I'm gonna leave it on high for a month. Oh, that is nasty. Look at all that dust. Looks like we even got spider webs in here. Yeah, I noticed a lot more dust on everything in the house recently. I think it's because of the auto mode. Here I am on my computer table. I guess all that loud sound you hear right now is my computer running. I have a lot of fans, so it's quite loud, but all this dust here is probably from, I mean, it usually doesn't have this much dust with the air filter and everything, but I think the auto mode is usually on low or silent, and it rarely kicks on to medium or high. So most of this dust shouldn't be here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off the table, and a month from now I'm going to come and see how much dust we have. Cleaned all the dust off the table. Here's what it used to look like, the area that I haven't cleaned yet. This is about 10 feet away from the air purifier, so I'm going to see how much dust collects on this table after. And I noticed a lot more dust in the air. I got my Tiny Monster 2000 lumen flashlight. I'm going to go ahead and show you how much dust is in the air right now. See all that dust floating in the air? Now the Rabbit Air minus A2 actually has a air ionization feature, which attaches negative ion particles to the dust, and the dust actually settles down to the carpet to where you can vacuum it up. And since the A2 purifier has been on low or silent most of the time, all that dust is just floating around in the air, and it just lands on my TV, computer, and everything else. So hopefully setting it on high will reduce the amount of dust floating in the air, and we'll look in the same spot a month from now how much dust is floating now. I just vacuumed out the pre-filter, just using the vacuum and the brush to vacuum out the outer part of the cleaner, all the edges and everything, and also vacuumed out the odor sensor and the particle sensor, which had quite a bit of dust in there because it actually sucks in particles, and it has a optical sensor that detects particles in the air. So you need to clean that every once in a while. Go ahead and put the cover back on. The cover on, which is just this panel here. has an LED sensor there, and it gets its electrical energy from those two tabs that go on the top there. But good. All you have to do is stick that on there like that. It closes. Go ahead and press the power button. Put the speed up to turbo for a little bit. Make sure the ionizer is on. See, there's the air quality sensor. I noticed this changes more often with the higher speed. See, it's purple now. When it's blue, that means the air quality is clean. So it's going to be, if it gets to red, that means the air is really dirty. So there's nothing in the air. That's bad. There's just a little bit of dust in the air, it seems. So I'll come back a month from now. You will get to see the inside of it, to see how much dust we took out of the air with it. Now, I know most of my subscribers are knife guys or gun guys and stuff like that, but I mean, we all gotta have a clean house, right? We like to have a dust-free house. I mean, this has a odor filter, has a charcoal filter in there. It gets rid of odors that are in the air. They also have a germ defense filter for it, and this is a HEPA filter, so it will get rid of dust particles down to microns, fractions of a micron in size. You know, if you guys sharpen knives in your houses, you know that metal dust, it does float around. It doesn't sink, you know, like you think it would. It does float around, and you don't want that stuff going in your lungs. So I would highly suggest you guys invest in a good air purifier. One of these will run you around, I think I got this one for $5.49 plus shipping and stuff like that, but it's worth it. You take care of it. I mean, you do have to replace the filters, I think once a year, but I do vacuum mine out every couple months, so I don't plan on replacing filters that often because they are expensive. I mean, I do have an air purifier that does have a washable filter in it, but I do not, those really don't do much compared to this one. This one's got a lot more filters in it. It's got a good warranty. This is like one of the best manufacturers in air purifiers, Rabbit Air. Something you can trust. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.